am live on my YouTube. Welcome back. Welcome back. For those people who are on my YouTube, welcome you here on my YouTube channel. My name is Edwin Valencia. I am a mother. I am a Filipina. I am digital business owner, and I own this YouTube channel. I also my my phone is just keep beeping. I also own a business online, and I help people to start their own online business as a side hustle. I started this business as a side hustle also while I was doing a full-time job on in Arrow here in Nevada, USA. Um, I offer service. I offer my time, and in this business, I am, and we are offering our webinar, and we have live webinar every Tuesdays and Thursdays weekly. That's weekly, and there's always replay whenever you're registering your name and email address to my website right here. This is my website right here, www.adminvalencia.com. It's for free, and after you submit your registration, it will take you to that thank you page, and there's a replay that you're going to watch right away. You can learn from how we do as an online business owner, and how you can make money in the tip of your finger on your for your phone or your cell phone. You just need um, a good internet, which is we have all internet everywhere, even in the mall, or even in somewhere in the bathroom in somewhere in the United States, or somewhere that there is an internet. You can just take your business anytime, anywhere, and that's we offer flexibility in the tip of your phone and in your finger. And we don't sell anything. We only offer the webinar, so that whenever you are interested into, then there's a next step that will tell you how to do start an online business. And once you are registered, you can always talk to me how you can start, and what is this business, what are you expecting here. And I am here being transparent to most of everyone here, that how you can do your online business without selling anything. And now, I'm not gonna explain it to you here, but that's what I am servicing to my business right here. So, without further ado, I would like to share with you what I have always been wanting to be very knowledgeable, not very knowledgeable, but I'm always wanting to have more knowledge and insights how to manage life in a relaxed way. So there is an insights here. This is the end of my program. It's called Life Visioning. So this is Life Visioning right here. So I wanted to just I wanted to, I don't know. Let me take this off first, okay? Um I wanted to remove this one first. Stop sharing, and I wanted to share again. Share and share only window. Um on live visioning. And okay, there you go. I also added a video. Oh no, audio. There was there's an audio. So now someone is okay. You're welcome. Next time na lang naasa ako manonood. Okay. So let's hear it. Life Visioning Mastery. So I've done with this
I
program.
want to say to you, rich blessings, and divine love on this, our final day of our class and quest together. Although this is the last day of our particular class, you are invited, of course, to be a perpetual student. Being a perpetual student means understanding that one, you are limitless love intelligence personified, and that you're always at the beginning of the next stage of your unfolding. That means you're to stay open to having the beginner's mind. When you go back and see this again, you'll notice that you'll hear things and see things that you didn't notice before because your perception has expanded. This is an adventure. And so you just keep unfolding more and more and more of yourself. As a matter of fact, adventure is a really good word here. What is an adventure? Adventure is when you don't know exactly what's going to happen. You're forging a new path, but you have a kind of a heightened sense of awareness. And so you're on an adventure of growth, development, and unfoldment. You're on an adventure of going into the unknown and discovering things about yourself that you didn't even know even existed because you may have been caught up in your mind being hijacked by things of the world. So you were on an adventure. So obviously, as you go back to these teachings and listen to them over and over again, as I indicated, you'll hear things for the second and third and fourth time that you didn't hear the first time. It will encourage you to uplevel your practice and be perpetually available to more than you could even imagine, more good, more love, more peace, all of that, more than you can imagine. This is a way of living. This is not just to be a temporary lifestyle that you do for 30 something days and let it go. It's a way of life so that it becomes second nature to you. You're living your life affirmatively. You're living your life optimistically. What is an optimist? An optimist is just an individual. An optimist is not a wishy-washy person who doesn't believe that bad things don't happen. An optimist is an individual that knows this is an answer and solution to anything that happens in our life. So they're always aware that something greater is trying to emerge. So as a perpetual student and as an individual who is creating a lifestyle, your vibration is developing a new set point. You're beginning at a higher frequency and going forth in life in a very powerful way. So let's remind ourselves about the 8 structures for a moment. Because the life visioning process assists you in integrating the vision into these structures. Remember, the structures are stabilized when they are no longer a liability in your life and become an asset, which means everybody's body, everybody's structures don't have to look like anybody else's structures. It just means that they are not getting in the way of you living your dream. Everyone is unique and incomparable. And so one of the structures, as you know, is ego. Here's where we come to an understanding that ego is not necessarily a bad thing unless it's running amok and is unhealthy. In an evolutionary context, the ego allowed us to see from a sense of separation so that this grand experiment called individuals as living biology reflecting the cosmos could survive. So in the beginning, the sense of separation allowed us to see that we were a little separate from the animal kingdom, the poisonous plants and things of that particular nature. Separation was about safety, not about domination, manipulation, and control. Now we're at a time in our lives and human existence where the species has to go beyond egocentristic point of view. So we no longer see ourselves separate from our neighbor, our environment, our rivers, our trees, or from the very planet upon which we are living. And so you may want to use the life visioning process. Remember, it's a meditative process to come into harmony with what we would call perhaps a healthy ego. What does that mean? It means ultimately that the sense of separation doesn't dominate your perception, and that you're no longer playing the game of superiority or inferiority or even equality, because that's very difficult to do on a spiritual level because everyone is unique. If you're operating from a sense of health where the ego is concerned, what you desire for yourself, you desire for everyone. And the sense of narcissism and elitism get dissolved. You're not living in a sense of separation where you want everything for yourself and nothing for someone else. That's the healthy ego. Now, the structure are what we call beliefs. Now, beliefs differ from direct realization of truth and is based upon the analytical or blindly believing mind, where realization is based upon intuitive, direct knowing consciousness. We come to have, we come to an understanding that all beliefs are not true, and that we're not allowed to blindly follow our beliefs, but to make sure they're in alignment with truth. So what do? We study. We study the metaphysical principles of the universe and the sacred laws and principles so that our beliefs lead to a level of practice, which then lead to a level of insight that takes us beyond believing and, and into integration and a higher spiritual realization. If we stayed merely just believing something, we could become radical fundamentalists. Most fundamentalists are afraid that what they believe is not true. So they have to proselytize or defend their beliefs. In other words, when you come into believing without knowing, you suppress your doubt
Yep.
about belief. And that's when you can rise and become a fundamentalist. You've suppressed your doubt, and unconsciously you're afraid that what you're believing is not so. We don't want you to be mere believers. A belief that is coherent with the spiritual laws is an operational placeholder for knowing. It's a placeholder for you to do practice so that you end up knowing something. Now, when you know something, your light will shine. Your light will show you. Your light will reveal that you know something rather than really believe it. The other structure, relationships. Relationships are joint participation in the good of life. It's where we learn to practice and participate in a field that's larger than ourselves. Remember, two fish swimming in the ocean? One fish can't promise the other fish, if you do what I say, I'll give you all the water you can handle. Because they're swimming in the water. We're all swimming in limitless love intelligence. Our relationships help us grow to participate in that larger field through the tributaries of love: kindness, compassion, forgiveness, patience, understanding, and support. All the ways that we grow in our relationships helps us participate in a larger field of love that we're all swimming in, and allows it to flow through us in an uninhibited way. Another very important structure is health of the body temple. Everyone's body is not the same. So everyone does not have to look like a model in a magazine or in a men's magazine, a men's fitness magazine. It means that our body temple has a degree of health with it. It does not get in the way of us living our vision. So if that particular structure is not stabilized, perhaps we serve an apprenticeship to the structure until it becomes stabilized. You find your right holistic doctor or your right trainer or your right nutritionist, until the body is revealing a level of health that will afford you the opportunity to reveal the vision that's trying to express through you. Why? Because you're not always dealing with some calamity of the body temple and ill health. Now, when in sickness or something else emerges, you don't judge yourself. We deal with it maturely and spiritually in a way where we're guided to do the right thing for ourselves. And remember what I said earlier about this structure. There are some individuals who have certain conditions that they deal with, but it doesn't necessarily keep them from moving towards their vision. Remember I used the example of Stevie Wonder, who was born blind. It didn't keep him from writing magnificent music. He's a living legend. Stephen Hawkins, Ray Charles, there's a number of people that had certain conditions that don't seem quite normal, so to speak. They're other abilities. They're not handicapped. They're otherly abled. When they learn to work with that, the structure becomes stabilized. So just keep that in mind as well. The other structure is money. This structure, you can always serve an apprenticeship to it until you understand that money is energy. It's a promissory note. It's a promise that energy will be continued to be circulated. And we learn under the aegis of money, remember, not to spend, but to circulate it. If you spend it, it's gone. If you circulate it, it comes back to you magnified. We learn about investment. We learn about tithing. We learn about saving. We learn about using our money to support our own spiritual growth, development, and unfoldment, and to handle our basic and legitimate needs. We learn that it's okay to have money as long as money doesn't have us. These are the things we learn about in the idea of finances. You may also want to consider this spiritual practice where you ask yourself, what would it feel like if I had all the money to do whatever I wanted and to constantly move into that feeling, amplifying it, allowing your nervous system to embrace it until you walk with that feeling? Remember, we did that kind of exercise, those kind of exercises earlier, where you took a deep breath, you held an insight or a feeling tone, you sustained it so that the nervous system could acclimate itself around that feeling tone. You may want to do that with money. What if I had all the money that I needed? And you feel that. There's no law against feeling it. It is the right use of the law. Until you feel that, you see. Now, you don't want money to own you. But you do want to have a love affair with it versus scrambling and chasing for it so that you're able to circulate and save and support the kind of world you want to live in. And there's livelihood. It's very close to money. But livelihood is the place of your creativity, the sharing of your giftedness. It's beyond merely having a job. It's a place where your gifts are utilized. Everyone has different gifts, and you get compensated for your creativity, for your generosity, and for your giftedness. Sometimes your livelihood and your creative outlet are not the same. Sometimes you have a position that supports your creative outlet. Oftentimes, it's really good when they match. Sometimes they don't. So when you think of livelihood, think of creativity. Think of your giftedness, your talents, your magnificent talents being circulated. Then there's the structure, the foundational piece, spirituality. Spirituality doesn't just concern itself with the matters of the spirit simply in a religious sense. It involves the totality of our being, our ultimate nature, our purpose, our unique relationship that is beyond time and space, the immeasurable, the undefinable, the great mystery. Religions have been created out of our inner impulsion to understand our origin, our source, the purpose of our existence, and to fulfill it. So sometimes people enter into this particular awareness from an atheistic or agnostic point of view. And so it doesn't matter where you're entering into this. Some people enter it into this dynamic from a religious point of view. Our religions are vehicles to the transcendent. That's what a religion is. It's a vehicle to the transcendent, a vehicle to have an encounter with the divine, that is our very nature and being, and to set ourselves free to express it. If we want to keep the vehicle that brought us there, we can. Or we can live in the transcended awareness of our holy encounter with the presence without putting a label on it. Now, so many people these days have had near life experiences where they went through an actual physical death only to discover that their agnostic or atheistic point of view was so narrow that there was a life with which we are all connected, that we are all emanations of. And so what do? We develop spiritual practice such as life visioning, meditation, affirmative prayer, to do what? To keep us in tune with our spirituality so that we can live life on purpose. And then finally, there's community. You've had a little bit of community with your tribe, your high vibe tribe. A community has emerged around these teachings and around the daily teachings and practices. I've often said over the years that community grants you immunity from the lower frequencies of life. Community is community is where you get to share your gifts, to be of service and expand your compassion into a selfless service. And then we grow beyond me and mine into a mindset of we. In a we consciousness, we become aware that all that we think and do impacts the community, our spiritual community, and the larger community. And so those are the structures: ego, beliefs, relationships, the body temple, the health of the body temple, money, livelihood, where we get to be creative and share our gifts, spirituality, which is the source of our being, and community, a place where we contribute. You can move into the life visioning process on any one of these structures. Any structure in your life that seems to be leaking energy can go through the same process. What is the vision? Where must I grow? What do I already have? What can I let go of? You can do all of that until the structures become stabilized with every insight that you have and every integration of the insight and embodiment of the insight. Now, here's the deal. When our structures are stabilized, you know what that's called? That's called personal success. However, personal success is not the end game. Personal success is the beginning game, because the next level that we're invited to is to make sure that our planet and the inhabitants on the planet are able to go to the next stage of their unfoldment. So think about this on a regular basis. Think about this. Your ancestors are cheering you on, and your descendants are cheering you on to help create a higher frequency so that when your descendants get here, the world is better because you were here. Think about that. Think about that. You got your ancestors, those who have gone before you, the descendants, those who are yet unborn. So we're not talking about your personal descendants like your kids or your grandkids. We're talking about the descendants that are coming to the planet. They're all in this field, inviting you to be the best you so that the frequency of the planet is raised, so that each generation comes into a higher in order level of being, so that the species gets to unfold with an ease and a grace and a deliberateness, because the game is conscious unfolding, conscious evolution. So personal success, that's the beginning. It's not the end game. It means you've become strong enough now to hold more energy, to be of greater service, to have a great sense of compassion, a great sense of joy, a great sense of life. It's so good. I'm trying to tell you something here. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Are you getting it?
Yes.
And so that's it. That's integrating the 8 structures with the life visioning process. I'm inviting you to live life. And as I said yesterday, you're just beginning to scratch the surface to become a perpetual student. Practice, practice, practice. People sometimes ask me, what are the advanced teachings? And I have said this over the years. The beginning teachings are the theory. It's the theory, the understanding, getting your beliefs in order to match real spiritual truths. Advanced teaching is practice. You've now been given the life visioning process. Meditation. Use it. And watch as you soar and rise to beyond your wildest imaginings. Perpetual students, beginner mind holders, have a bright and magnificent life. I'll see you at the next stage of your unfolding. Have a beautiful day.
So I really wanted to share this one with you so that you have some ideas of how do I learn all of these. And that's part of my this is part of my journey, is by learning from their perspective. Without them sharing their knowledge, I would not know. And this is my sharing to you, that if you are listening to this on a replay, does it make sense, right? Of having that personal growth. With your personal growth, you can grow. And he said, like, um it's a structure that you have the strength to be more confident to show of your knowledge, because you're practicing it and you understand what it is in your purpose. And then if you begin to start by unfolding your truly are, you begin to build that confidence and strength to show that you grow personally. And you can share this one, and you can share that this is what I do. I'm sharing it. It's because I understand life now. And you have to be more spiritual. You have the community. You have to take that ego of yourself. And there's a healthy ego, and there's the unhealthy ego, and you have to understand that one. And once you understand life, then you can definitely share it. So anyway, I'm not going to stay here forever, but that's just one thing that I'd like to share with you, is my program that I've always wanting to learn more. And learn from those people who have um, successfully done it to themselves, and they're sharing it. And without this business, I would not learn this one from them, from how to grow and how to develop yourself. Because as an employee, I did not grow different kinds of self development. It's just like you have to work on your own, and you just have to make money, and that's it. But business, this one, is leading you towards self development, leading you to know who you are, to build who you are, so that you can make money on what you're doing, and you can understand how to make money in your own ability. So this is for right now, and I'm going to end this one. See you next time on my live. Stay tuned. Be extraordinary, my friend. Bye bye.